Micky, thank you for your time, as always. It's so close, isn't it, in League Two at the moment? I think there's something like 4 points separating fourth down to sort of 11th. Do you look at the league table, or is it just a case of just concentrating on Tranmere between now and the end of the season?
Yeah, a bit of both. Definitely, you have obviously got to concentrate on your own results and performances first, and then you see what the outcome of that is after whatever your result was. You've got to keep an eye on it, but first and foremost, you've got to try and take care of your own business and try and get results.
I can imagine the team felt like they were on the floor. I know you certainly gave that impression after the Colchester game. As a manager, how do you go about sort of picking the players up and injecting some positivity into the camp?
Just like we've did this week, we quickly look over performances and we see what we think that we should have done better and what we did that was okay, and then we'll quickly go over that, communicate that with the players, and then we will move on as quickly as we can, because you can't dwell on it. There's nothing you can do about it now. As tough as it is, because we don't like losing games of football, you must come to a place where you just got to look forward there and learn from the game before, and that's including me, the manager. And then you just quickly start to plan and prepare for the next game.
We said about how close it is. Do you think goal difference might be a factor come the end?
It always is, isn't it? I mean, it is at the minute. I think is it 3 teams all locked in the same points when goal difference is separating us. So at the minute, it certainly is. You've just got to try and keep focused and keep trying to do the best you can and keep clean sheets and score goals, obviously, and try and win games. That's all you can do. You just got to concentrate on that, and then obviously with that measurement will become more important towards the last couple of games of what you know that you maybe have to do to try and go over the line.
And one thing you do have in your favour is you've 14 home wins in the league this season. That's I think 2 more than any other team. So when you come to Prenton Park, that must give you a lot of confidence to come in with that record.
It does, yeah, and it's a great mystery why we haven't done so well away, because quite honestly, we don't set our stall any different. We try and go and win every game away from home. Don't really don't say anything any different really to the players, because we want to go and try and attack every game and try and go and win it. So we've been particularly good at home picking up points. Performance has been good. So over the next few games, that'll be very important to us. We've got some cracking big games coming up starting on Saturday.
Do you think it's a mental thing, not just with yourselves, but also other teams coming to Prenton Park, or is it more of a tactical issue?
I'm not sure. I don't know. We just seem to be very, very good at home at taking more chances, and seem to come at good times, and then we become a real force with the fans behind us as well. It all sort of comes together and making us a really powerful team at home.
Personnel-wise, you had Jay Spearing on the bench. You didn't have Jay. You did have Jay Spearing on the bench last week. Also, Nicky Maynard was on the bench too. Are they close to being in the starting 11?
Yeah, it was too early for him last week. We spoke to the player about that as well, and they had agreed. Probably a couple of days training wasn't enough after the length of the layoffs that the lads had. They've got another good week's training under their belts this week, so certainly they've moved massively closer. But they're all really valuable players, especially with their experience that they have. So we're going to have to use our own sort of initiative and the players thinking that, being honest with us as well, and we'll decide when, with everything that's in front of us, what the right time is for them to solidly come back into things, because there's still a lot of football to be played, and we want to make sure that they are at their best or close to their best when we put them back out there again.
And Kieran Morris, how close is he now?
Yeah, he'll be fine. He's back now. Last week spoke to him the day before the game and on the day of the game, and he just felt that he wasn't ready yet. There's too much that was an issue with him. But he's had a good week's training. He will be available for the weekend.
How valuable are some of those players that we've just spoken about, given their experience in this final running?
Well, huge, because when you speak like that, you can only look at what that they've done. The likes of Galazzo, Spearing, Maynard was experience, Kieran Morris, they've been among our best players this season, so they're very, very valuable to us. So to have all of them back available again, except for Powell, which is a disappointing one, but to have them all back available and getting towards being able to start again is really good for us.
And I suppose naturally, with 7 games to go and the table so tight, is it important to say to the players, embrace this time of the season, particularly as somebody who's been in this scenario many times before?
Well, we always do, but that's why we try and keep their focus on what's important and don't speak about anything we're not in control of. All they can go out there is concentrate on their performance, and for us as a staff to make it clear what that performance is. So what is it there in the team for us to do for the team, what they're in it for, using the qualities that they have, and we just remind them of that all the time, and then going out there with that desire that's always important, and a clear head and a good focus, and go and perform for us.
Just a word on Carlisle. You got an important 3 points there early this season. What do you make of the challenge of them?
I thought they were on a brilliant run. They've got a new manager now, Paul Simpson. Obviously, we watched them during the week at Rochdale. They've lost. They lost there. But they have started to pick up a lot of points and drove themselves away from the bottom end. So we know that everybody that comes to Prenton Park looks forward to coming to Prenton Park, and we know that that's the size of the task that's in front of us. But we're a good team, and we will concentrate on being a good team. And if we are anywhere near what we know that we are capable of as a team, we hopefully should be able to come away with a valuable 3 points.
Thanks, Micky. I'll let Jamie come in now. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Cheers, pal.
Hi, Micky.
Hi, Jamie.
Just a quick one from me. You mentioned the crowd and the advantage of playing at home. How important is that going to be in the running? Because it can act as a 12th man, and any little advantage you can get could be crucial, couldn't it? Absolutely,
and it can go against you as well if we don't understand that these next 7 games are going to be very nervy. But there's an experienced crowd here. They've been through this now for quite a few seasons now, run-ins, so they understand what their massive part is in that, and they also understand, as we've gone to other clubs before and played against other clubs, and you've played on trying to get as much negativity at the crowd that can affect the home team as possible. So we know that the effect that can have, but we have a fan base that's very mature in that, and knows that it's important that they get right behind us, show the patience that we all have to show at times. There'll be things that disappoint us at times, absolutely, that's a game of football. But the ultimate thing is we go and support this group of players and try and get the most out of them. That's what I'm here for, and that's what I'm trying to do, is just get the most out of them. And I know definitely to get the most out of them is encouragement, absolute encouragement. But they'll be able to get that from our fans anyway, and they know how important a role that they play in us putting in decent performances.
In a way, the running, especially one when you're going for a promotion, how important is that? Your job as a motivator, and obviously working with the crowd to motivate the players. It's almost like a partnership, isn't it?
Well, you need in order to put in good performances, as we know, because of lockdown, we've certainly learned the effect that a crowd can have in a game of football. Empty stadiums was like, I used to say, it was a bit like a horse coming up the Firo furlong and the jockey with no whip. The crowd's the whip. The crowd gets the game going and adds the drama. And it's important that we use that to our advantage, especially at home. And very many times we have had that advantage, that huge advantage, when the fan bases go right behind the team and you've seen the effect that it has on the group. And they know that that's they'll come along and they'll give the team, give them all the encouragement they need, because that's what they need. They need encouragement and they need support. That's what we've all got to do, me included. So as you're saying, that group of things, me, players, fan base, all coming together, absolutely helps with the performances.